Now, staying with business news, Edcon's woes may soon be over. It's expected to make an announcement on the future of the company later today via the Irish Stock Exchange. Now, Edcon employs 14,000 permanent staff, 25,000 temporary workers, and it's been struggling to stay afloat. The South African Federation of Trade Unions says if Edcon does go under, it would be the biggest loss of jobs in South Africa's history. For more on the story now, eNCA's Aviwe Mtila joins us in studio. Thanks very much for coming in, Aviwe. So, is this positive news that we can expect today?
That's the big question. We don't know what will be coming out of it. As you just mentioned, there are a number of jobs at stake. That's the biggest and foremost thing out of this. Already, South Africa's job rate, unemployment rate, stands at around a staggering 27.5%. So it would be a catastrophic thing for the unemployment rate as it is. Of course, we'd see that number go up if Edcon were to close doors, in fact, and all those jobs would be disastrous. But Edcon, of course, is a company that we've all grown up under. I remember myself growing up with my mother going to the Edcon stores while I was young, and I guess it's lost touch with customers and consumers over the years.
CNA also under the Edcon group, but for our viewers who are just getting wind of the story now, just bring us up to speed how we got here.
Well, if you remember clearly, Bain Capital, the Boston company, took over Edcon in 2007, buying it over for a record 25 billion rands at that time. And over the years, they've been struggling to make profit. They've been debt burden, of course. I remember in 2015 there were reports over there that they had 12 consecutive losses, quarterly losses back then already. I guess the story, as I mentioned earlier, they lost touch in terms when I speak to some analysts and when I speak to people on the ground, they're saying that they lost touch over the years in terms of what customers want. They've been changing brands, changing store layouts, while basically not being in touch with what is happening on the ground with customers. And we've seen other stores and other people come into the market. We've seen the H&Ms, we've seen Zara come in the market, and people have, well, those loyal customers have actually shifted. So it's really not been good. And we've seen Bain Capital walk away in 2016 after 9 years of not basically making profit.
Yeah, those international brands putting a big strain on brands that fall under Edcon. Just in terms of those loss-making years, the group executive, I believe it was the CEO who we've been speaking to over the past sort of couple of weeks since the story broke, they've been quite optimistic around plans to turn things around.
We heard talks of those plans, actually. We've heard talks that they've gone cap in hand to 31 of their landlords, offering them a stake in the company, a 5% stake in the company. I'm not sure how true that is for the next 2 years. And then in return, they'd be given 41% rent reduction over the next few years. We've heard that very own CEO, Grant Patterson, saying that those reports are sensational, but he's going to make an announcement today at 11 o'clock. Is expected to make an announcement at 11 o'clock, and we'll find out from him what the situation will actually be. Will those jobs be saved, and will they actually re-strategize the company itself? Because if they don't, they might want to thin and talk to the malls and so on. But if they don't get in touch with customers, they're still going to be in the situation that they find themselves in.